couple of years. Nikolai, very strong young man, Dave.
Wow, and that's proof right there.
He's got tremendously big legs. Very muscular. Has a lot of power with both hands.
Here's going to be a big setup for Nikolai.
Nikolai flat rolls that. Isaac loads up and passes Nikolai down the right. That's one of those kill passes, Dave.
Score is 8-2 in the first game of the men's semis. Division I. This is the open. That ball just had a lot of squirrely action in the backcourt.
Nikolai going for a deep two-wall pass there with his left, but caught the sidewall sooner than he was aiming. I don't like that serve at all, Dave. Not only because it hit the left side wall, but it just gives Isaac too many opportunities to hit a good return.
8 serves 2. Isaac Acosta serving to Nikolai Nahorniak, who's studying, he is studying back at Lake Forest College. Pediatric dentistry is Nikolai Nahorniak.
He'll be graduating this spring, Dave.
Isaac Acosta is studying political science and communication with a minor in philosophy at Lake Forest. It's a lot of ambition. I agree with Nick. The referee went in there before the match started and said, if there's any contact, I want you to hold up. And Nikolai had contact. He held up, and he was wondering what happens after I do what you tell me.
The referee actually spent about 25 minutes in the court talking to the players.
That's why Nick looked back and looked a little disgusted. He was saying, I'm following your rules here.
Nikolai not really on track offensively yet, Dave.
3 serves 8. Oh, nice get right there from Isaac Acosta. See how he jumps back up? It was a double bounce, though. Very athletic get there from Isaac Acosta, but
Isaac looks extremely winded right now, Dave.
I thought he knocked the air out of himself. You see how fast he got up off the ground? Now Nikolai with 2 straight points here, 4 serves 8.
This is pretty standard, Dave. Isaac comes into this match as a big underdog. He's got a lot of adrenaline. He uses that adrenaline early in the game to come out to a great surge, but once that adrenaline wears off, Dave, a lot of times you find yourself gasping for breath. He'll be looking for his second wind here. You can see him very slowly taking his time, trying to catch his breath. And that's the first sign of fatigue, Dave, is that serve coming off the back wall. He lacked a lot of power on that serve, and a lot of control.
Well, you have to look at his doubles match from last night that went tiebreaker, and he played the left side for the remainder of those last 2 games, and you're wondering if that's playing into this at all today.
And now Isaac really slowed down here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Nikolai is a big kid, Dave. He's got a lot of energy in reserve. And now it's Isaac with a number of errors creeping in here. Nikolai's still not playing at his very best, and Isaac takes a timeout here.
That's a smart move. You see Isaac staying on the floor here. You're watching the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships in Tempe, Arizona at ASU. Alongside the broadcast partner in the booth, David Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. These games hosted by the WPH just down the road, stationed in Tucson, Arizona, alongside the United States Handball Association. Isaac stays on the court for 30 seconds, decides to come back off the floor, and he has a word with the referee as he puts his eye guards down there in his workout bag. Isaac Acosta was in charge in the first half of this first game here, but you have to have the longevity, that same type of energy throughout the whole match. He spent all of his energy, it looked like, in the first 15 points, 14 points of this game. 6 serves 8 is the score here.
Isaac telling me he wants to just play his game and be precise with his shots, not give Nikolai setups. This is very much a Lake Forest match thus far, Dave. A lot of balls hit to the ceiling, a lot of pass shots, a lot of percentage handball.
That's a nice shot right there from Nikolai.
Nikolai has the opening that he wants. An easy fly kill, front wall, right side wall, and puts it into the ground, trying to go to the left.
8 serves 6. Isaac Acosta.
It's a nice paddle scoop kill there from Nikolai. Shows us he's got more than just that sidearm stroke and the fist to the ceiling stroke. There's a big setup for Nikolai. Takes out with his left and pushes Isaac back into the back left corner with a great pass shot. Nice shot there from Nikolai.
Now the referee's back into the court here to explain some more stuff that he forgot to explain when he was in there for the first 25 minutes before the match started.
This will actually be his last refereeing duty of the weekend. Will be banned.
You know, in all the years of doing these, I've never seen a referee go in there and try to teach a player how to position themselves. I mean, especially a referee that's not even a C player.
Does it count if you're not a C player but you think you're a pro player?
Whoa.
You can really hear the velocity decreasing on Isaac Acosta's shots. He came out early in this game hitting the ball extremely hard, moving extremely well. Now it's just an effort.
Wow, nice shot right there from Nick.
Beautiful shot.
Left-handed shot for Isaac.
That's a shot that Isaac has to put away. He's fortunate that Nikolai mishits that ball.
At one point, Isaac was up 9-1, and now he sees that lead is now reversed.
Not a good shot there from Nikolai. Very simple kill shot down the right. Hits it right back to Isaac, and Isaac should have let that ball come off the back wall. And now it's Nikolai with a slight miss hit. But good enough into that left corner.
Both of these players representing Lake Forest College.
Nice drive there, and it's just Isaac completely exhausted right now, Dave.
I thought that Nick was going to go down the right wall with that, but knowing that Isaac's going to run back toward the middle, he jammed it at him. Yes, this is a close game, but Nikolai Nahorniak is on a 10-0 run.
Nice shot there from Isaac. Beautiful shot, waited on that nicely. Drove it into that right wall crack. Beautiful shot there from Nikolai. Loads up with the left, comes over it with a reverse. That's actually his natural swing, is the reverse stroke with the left hand. Nikolai keeps that lob serve on that right wall. It looked like that was a mistake to let that come off the back wall, Dave, but he rolls it with his left hand, just about 1.5 inches high. Nikolai now scoring 11 consecutive points. Not a good shot there from Nikolai. Here's another setup, and he shanks that into the floor. You know, Dave, it's not common to say about a young player that they don't shoot the ball enough, but I don't think Nikolai does. Has the ability to go on offense, as you see there, from virtually anywhere on the court. Now you hear him pumping himself up a little bit. But with as much firepower, Dave, as Nikolai has, you'd think he'd shoot the ball more, particularly when he's serving. It's a nice ceiling rally here, Dave. Isaac has excellent touch to the ceiling, and now Nikolai missing the ceiling. A big setup for Isaac. And Isaac does well to roll that ball right in front of himself. Nikolai dives, but unable to pick it up.
Score is 8-12. After going up 8-1, Isaac sees himself trailing 8-12. Trying to get at least a point on the board here, and there he got it. Finally off the schneid.
Puts a nice natural on that shot, Dave, and straightens it out down the right wall. Good look at both players there from the side cam. Here's a setup with his left, and he gets it. Nice diving get there, and Isaac had the shot he wanted. He had Nikolai pinned on his left. It's kind of an awkward shot there, Dave, because he's falling to his left with the ball coming at that 45-degree angle, but completely misses it. Lets Nikolai off the hook for poor court positioning.
Now, was it Nick getting up during that shot? Shouldn't he have to stay down on that?
It seemed like Isaac had enough room there. It didn't seem like his swing was obstructed.
His swing doesn't have to be obstructed. You stay down on a shot where you hit the floor. Has nothing to do with the swing. I saw Nick jump up, and I mean, that could, if you're going to go for a precision type of shot that Isaac was going with, that overhand big ball type shot with Nick jumping up, that's just enough to kind of rattle you. I don't know if we can go back and look on the replay, but you'd see what I'm talking about if we were able to see that. I guess referee is looking at the players gloves here. That is now the 7th time the referee's been on the court. We're actually keeping track.
I believe that's a rule book in his hand right there. They're reading some sort of rule. We may have some sort of clarification as to what the actual argument is. I think that's dating back earlier in this game. There was some sort of discrepancy.
Nine serves 12. There they are reading the USHA Handball Rulebook Manual. Referee.
That's a tough shot, Dave, with your offhand to take that ball from about 38 feet with the ball moving into your body. From that far back, very difficult shot. Not a good serve there from Nikolai. Looked like he might have changed his mind at the last second here.
Score is 14-9. First game, make that 15-9. Great serve right there from Nick.
Nikolai blasts that and looks to take the next one out of the air, and that's the skinny V pass, Dave, with the right hand. A great shot. That's a great shot, whether it's straight down the right wall or it just clips that right side wall. And now Isaac calls a timeout, and Nikolai wants the ball, and Isaac won't give it to him. Kind of a strange situation here, Dave, these teammates.
If you're looking for handball gear, look no further than the USHA web store at ushandball.org. The web store has everything you need for handball. Premium handball gloves, official balls, custom shirts, shorts, hats, they can all be found at an affordable price and convenience of ordering online. Whether you are a handball pro or just a curious first-timer, the web store is available right now for you at ushandball.org. Just find that web store link, go to it. They have everything that you need. This is the United States Handball Association's 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships, hosted by the WPH ASU in Tempe, Arizona. It's 15-9 as the scores. This is the first game. Nikolai Nahorniak serving to Isaac Acosta.
Nikolai had Isaac leaning left there, fired that serve down the right and came up just short. And now Isaac big reverse on that. Isaac reads it. Here's a big setup here for Isaac, and he takes care of it. Pushes his body into that shot beautifully.
After this match concludes, you, Dave Fink, will be on the court with a clinic that will be reduced to about 30 minutes before the first women's semifinals match will take place. We're going to try to mic you up if we can and have you go out there.
Will you be taking that clinic, Dave, or just webcasting?
Can I take it with my headset on? That was a terrible serve from Isaac.
You know, the last thing you want to do, Dave, when you're tired like Isaac is serve that power serve, because it takes so much control and so much power and so much energy that if you don't have your energy, you just can't possibly hit it well. That's a smart shot, pushes him back. Isaac should have let that ball come off the back wall, and now it's a miss hit from Nikolai. And now it just become a sloppy point here, and Nikolai finishes it off after a couple of consecutive miss hits there. You know, Dave, the problem with an athlete like Isaac, he's very fit, he's very lean, but there's no reserve energy there for him. So once he gets tired, it's pretty much over for him. He doesn't have any excess fat to back up for a second wind. I know that
I've got
you
enough
don't know what I'm talking about.
I've got enough for both of us. I knew where you're going before you went there.
Okay.
decided to jump in to try to at least steal part of the joke, or at least disrupt it, which I think
did.
I did either one of those.
That was an avoidable hinder by you.
You're watching the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships here in Tempe, Arizona. This is the first game of the men's semifinals, Lake Forest versus Lake Forest. They are a handball powerhouse. Nikolai Nahorniak leading versus one of his close friends, Isaac Acosta. There is Sun Lee, who lost to Nikolai Nahorniak at last year's Collegiate National Championship. Sun Lee is a mainstay on and off the Pro Tour, usually seeded or ranked somewhere in the top 20. He could very well be an Elite 8 type player, but he wants to focus on acting and improv and sometimes away from handball. He comes back and he plays well. He is also an assistant coach for LFC.
There's an error caused by indecision from Isaac. Left his feet there to try and take that ball back to the ceiling. Would have been better served letting that ball come off the back wall. And now Isaac takes his, seems like about his 7th timeout, but I guess we'll call it his 3rd.
We are being seen all across the country of Ireland and all over the United States. One of my close buddies, and you, I believe, know him, Tim Dean from Oregon, is playing Chip the Baby Morales in a finals of the end of February weekender in Eugene, Oregon this weekend. And he's texted and said, do I do the serve and shoot game or do I go toward the DC game with the ceiling? I've got it all today. What do I do against Chip?
20 seconds.
He plays a lot like DC, so I would probably say stick with that game, Tim. Be in good shape. It's
Tim
Nikolai on an 18-1 run right now. This is like me playing you.
That is actually correct. Wow, that ball just had nothing back there.
Just died that ball perfectly in the back left corner.
Nine serves, 19.
That's the shot that Isaac wants there.
I believe you played Nick in the Canadian Nationals one year.
Actually, it was the George Miller 2009.
That's close to Canada, isn't it?
Somewhat.
Now we're at 20, game point versus Isaac Acosta. Nikolai Nahorniak trying to get that first game win. It's a great camera angle brought to you by the WPH webcasting staff.
Isaac misses the ceiling here. This could end this first game. Nikolai shoots the right corner but leaves it up. Nikolai goes with the 2-all fist pass, and that's a very tough shot there, Dave, and he hits it well. This is a great rally here. Could be the last rally of this first game. It's bad bounce called off the handle of the door. Handball is the only sport I know of, Dave, where we replay bad bounces.
Well, if basketball was flat in the NBA and it created a bad bounce, I think they'd probably replay the action and replace it with a new ball. So you might be wrong.
I think they would just bring a new ball in and start where they were. I don't know in tennis when the ball clips the net cord if they just take the point over. I actually, they don't. So in golf, the balls hit the trees and bounce into the fairway.
That's
Sometimes
true.
they bounce into the parking lot. They just play it wherever it ends up. Sometimes the ball hits the flag stick and goes into the water.
And
Sometimes it hits the flag
I call
stick
that
and
a
goes
bad.
in.
I call that a bad bounce, and I take a new ball out and we start over.
Okay.
that we start the scoring over too. If I'm on the 7th hole, I'm back to 0. That's how we do it. I'm actually getting better at golf. I've now missed the ball a little closer than I did before. There is our referee practicing his fish shots. I didn't know that they had ceilings in prison. We are going to take a quick time out between games here at the Rec Center. Tempe, Arizona at ASU. It's a score of 21-9, getting ready for game number 2, men's semifinal action between Nikolai Nahorniak and Isaac Acosta. You stick around. We're going to be back in just a bit. For Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll have more action from niftytv.com in just a bit.
Got 2 minutes.
And we are back live from the show court at ASU in Tempe, Arizona, with Isaac Acosta serving to Nikolai Nahorniak. Nick won the first one 21-9. This is game 2 of the men's Division I semifinals in the open category. Winner goes to the finals. 0 serve 0.
Second serve. Point. Wrong serve 0. Short.
That's a short ball.
Second serve. Point.
That's a point.
2 serve 0. Point.
And now it's Nikolai picking up right where he left off to close out that first game, Dave.
3 serve 0. Over, back bounce.
Replay there, that ball hitting the glass in the back left corner. That's typically a place, Dave, where you store the
Score is 3
extra
serve
ball
0.
or
Replay.
Or in my case, a
hamburger.
favorite adult beverage. Hamburger's good. Never leave an In-N-Out burger in the back corner of a handball court, although I tried once.
Side out.
Strange bounce there.
I have left a couple donuts on a handball court. That was a play on words.
0 serves 3.
0 serves 3 here.
Look at that strength there from Nikolai. Off balance, able to fire that ball 3-wall. And there's a nice kill there, open stance
It's point.
for Isaac.
Nikolai can hit the ball hard, but once he hits that second wall, his momentum
1 serves 3.
loses its verve.
Side out.
Isaac moving a little bit slowly for that retrieve there, Dave.
3 serves 1.
Great serve there from Nikolai.
Oh, wow.
That was a strange reaction there, Dave. Isaac taking the Sun Lee approach, and he sees Nikolai getting himself really revved up here, and he wants to slow down this momentum. I don't know really what to think right now.
Let's watch.
Seems like
Nick here.
Nikolai might have just drank 12 cups of coffee in a row. He's got a lot of energy right now. He's happy. He's excitable.
You're watching the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships live here courtside at ASU campus. This is the game number 2 of the men's semifinals. Winner goes to the finals tomorrow. Definitely going to be somebody from Lake Forest. That's from the obvious department of obviousness.
20 seconds.
That was a pretty fast 10 seconds there.
Remove. Time back in. Score is 5-71.
Wow. It's a short ball.
That was well short. It was inside the line, Dave, not even on the line.
That was 6 inches short, and if we saw a replay, you'd see it too. What really scares me is the fact that Nick said that he thought it was good. And he turned around and put the thumbs up as if to say,
to lock it in.
yeah.
That's even more than a fist pump to lock it in. A fist.
Check the ball, please. Check it. Thank you. 176.
Isaac takes a BB right in the backside there from Nikolai off the back wall, and now another one. He's got matching welts on his rear end from Nikolai back wall shots.
176.
Score is 1-6.
Isaac should shoot this. He does, and he hits a brilliant right corner kill. Nikolai punches that ball to the ceiling, but it comes a little too short.
It's 276.
Great shot there from Nikolai.
Set up. 6 serves 2. It's a point.
Isaac makes the air there off the back wall. Goes for a low percentage kill.
7 serves 2.
Great pickup there from Isaac, amazing anticipation. Now he pushes Nikolai back, gives him the back wall set up, and now very sloppy rally there. 4 consecutive balls, 5 right in the middle of the front wall. And a nice retrieve. Could have been a hinder call, wasn't called. And Nikolai ultimately ending that rally with a
Now these guys are talking to each other. Isaac Acosta actually trying to calm Nick down a little bit. Now they're doing a lot of talking back and forth. See that? Now you see Nick kind of getting in the face of Isaac.
It's become sort of like a pro wrestling match. And you see Isaac doing everything he can to slow down the tempo and break up the momentum of Nikolai right now. Nikolai waves off the towel.
Refuse sweating. It's 9 serves 2.
9 serves 2.
Beautiful serve there from Nikolai.
No yelling this time from Nick. That
10 serves 2.
That was
It's
a
kind of odd.
perfectly struck serve.
When he gets the serve that he's really aiming for, he doesn't show any signs of emotion, but then when his opponent mishits the ball, he starts yelling and pumping himself up. It's kind of the opposite of what you normally see. And a timeout call from Isaac Acosta. Now we watch Nikolai just sort of like run out of the court here. You are watching the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships from ASU in Tempe, Arizona, where the men's semifinals, game number 2, taking place right now. Isaac Acosta, who has taken a quick breather and a drink of liquids there.
Up next, Dave, will be about a 30-minute pro player instructional clinic. And immediately following that will be Pauline Gallagher versus Shauna Hilly, both ladies from Ireland, playing for a spot in the championship match tomorrow.
11 serves 2.
These guys will also be facing each other, Dave, in the doubles final a little bit later this afternoon.
Second serve.
Smart shot there from Isaac. Isaac's got a nice pop on the ball when he's able to step into it. Almost complimented our referee there, Dave, on allowing the play to continue, but he managed to screw up what could have been a good no call. You know, Dave, it's interesting. You and I both play a lot of practice matches. You'll find that in practice, you may go an entire match without calling one hinder. You might go 4 matches without calling a hinder, yet you go into a tournament, play the same person, and all of a sudden there's 10 hinder calls per game. That's well short. That serve was well inside the line, Dave. Not even close. We'll get a replay of that.
Hopefully, that's the second one in a row that we've seen like that.
That
That
was
was definitely short.
That was just terrible. And this is what happens when the referee
Here it is. Let's watch
sitting
this.
down.
Let's watch this replay on the screen right there on the monitor. You see the screen with
And
the
it's
replay.
just way inside the
And
line.
it's way inside the line. I don't know if we can see that one more time, but it's right there on the screen next to the referee.
Jesse. It's like this far short. This far.
Look on the screen, Jesse. Look on the screen. Watch the screen. Here comes the screen. Bam. It's the first time instant replay has ever been used. Referee walking over to our courtside instant replay. It's never been done before. You see, you get a laugh out of the players here, but that is there's a first there, Dave.
Well, the previous ace was even more short.
It was. I want to say thank you to Chris Garrad for grabbing that replay multiple times for the referee.
Here's a big setup.
You're not going to be able to find that rule in the USHA rule book. No.
Beautiful shot there from Nikolai.
Here comes another court visit from the referee who accidentally gave a point to the player on that previous short call. Ooh, now they're going to replay the last point because he gave the wrong score.
Really confused here, Dave. This is what happens when you have a C player refereeing a top-level match.
Here's what happened. The short call was called a point on the scorecard, so he called the score, realized that he called the wrong score. Nick gets to set up the point, comes back and says, we're going to replay that because I called the wrong score. Still confused?
No. Confused as to why our referee is reffing the match, though.
It's now 13-2, or is it? I love this camera angle here. 13 serves 2.
Great serve. Tremendous serve there from Nikolai.
You saw the fist pump, which is usually an indicator.
Went for a big reverse there down the left and caught a little bit too much of it. There's a nice, beautiful place 2-all pass. Now Isaac with his 3rd timeout. This is his final timeout here in this second game, Dave.
This is game number 2 of the men's semifinals Division I Open Championship. The reason why you don't see all of Lake Forest team here, you do see Mike Dow there, but you do not see the full team out here because it's kind of hard to root for one player over the other when you're on that team, Dave. As you can imagine, Lake Forest is really noisy, and it would be kind of destructive to go out there and root for one guy when the other one's also on your team. So they've all migrated out and are supporting players on other edges of this facility, 15-court facility at the rec center here at ASU.
Actually, we're down to 14 after a shattered door on court 5 just about a half an hour ago, Dave. One of our competitors crashing into the back wall and shattering the glass door into about 5,000 pieces. We'll have pictures of that for you on the WPH message board a little bit later this evening.
Score is 15-2. That's short. You'll see on a replay that ball hits before the line. Watch the monitor.
Actually, wasn't sure about that last serve, Dave. I thought it might have been good.
Well, we'll see it here.
Okay.
Here comes the serve. Watch right before the line. Right there.
Yes, it
before
was
the line.
short.
By about 3 inches. Back to the live action here.
Great kill there from Isaac.
Score is 2-16. Powerhouse Lake Forest College with 2 representatives from the men's semifinals.
Nikolai plays that revolving door shot brilliantly with his right hand.
Score is 16-2.
Goes for the big reverse down the left. That ball was close. I'd like to see our referees standing up. Much easier to see the short serves. Nikolai floors that setup with his left hand.
2-17.
Very difficult ball to fly kill, Dave, as that ball catches the right side wall and dips quickly, gets below your hand. Isaac stays with that ball nicely, follows the natural. And there's a great kill there from Isaac. Isaac's shown that he's very proficient with his right hand kill given the opportunity.
3-17 second game. Isaac loses the first, 21-9.
Perfect return there from Nikolai. He's very comfortable fisting the return of serve, Dave. We've seen him do that a lot on the 3-wall court. He's got great control with his fist. And there's a tremendous serve. Isaac just barely gets the ball back, and Nikolai drives it into the left corner. And now it's Nikolai circling the court.
Nikolai's just one happy kid right now. It's the 59th
Nikolai
Collegiate.
just realizing that Isaac doesn't have any timeouts left.
Nikolai thought that Isaac had another timeout to call and just jumped out of the court, not realizing there was no timeout granted by the referee.
Actually got a timeout out of it, though, because of all the commotion.
That was a double bounce. Could have been an injured player there. I know Nikolai had to have seen that ball double bounce.
Maybe not. He didn't see the serves that were a foot and a half short, apparently.
That was a good get from Nick.
Nikolai goes for sort of a crazy.
Score is 3-20.
Isaac just looking to cover the spread now, Dave. And now it's 3 consecutive left-handed airs from Nikolai Nahorniak, and he takes a timeout, leading 20-5.
You have to remember that young Isaac Acosta in the first game was up 8-1, and since that time, he has only scored 6 points over a span of almost 2 games.
3 of those were in the last 45 seconds.
This is the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships, brought to you by the United States Handball Association from Tucson, Arizona, hosted by the WPH here in Tempe, Arizona. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside Dave Fink, top 6 world-ranked pro, who will be on the court after this match is concluded to do a real quick 20-minute or so clinic for those that want to get on the court. And hopefully we can mic you up so we can hear what you are going to teach these players or instruct the players on. And then right after that, Dave, it'll be a women's semifinals.
Nikolai takes the ball back to the ceiling. Isaac's very comfortable playing this ceiling game. Isaac not able to put enough on that ball to put it away.
That was a strange play right there.
Well, there's a lot of strange happenings going on.
Let's look at it again
right now, Dave. We won't have the sound to hear the woo from Nikolai after he makes this get here.
And that's where he makes it.
Actually, could have been an avoidable there as he moved into Isaac's path.
Nikolai Nahorniak 1 point away from going back to the finals for the 2nd straight year. He's last year's repeat champion.
Actually, would be the 3rd consecutive year. He lost to Armando Ortiz in the finals in 2009 in Minneapolis, the University of Minnesota. Very impressive collegiate record for the senior. And Nikolai wins the match with a lob serve that just trails that left wall, and he'll advance to the finals with an impressive victory over his teammate Isaac Acosta, 21-9, 21-5. We're going to take a quick break here, Dave. We're going to come back with a pro player clinic, followed by the women's semifinals and the men's semifinals. So stay tuned.
We will be back right around the corner. It's the 59th Collegiate National Handball Championships from ASU, where Nikolai Nahorniak just sweeps Isaac Acosta, both from Lake Forest College. We'll be back in just a few minutes to have this pro player clinic and a live webcast here at WPHLive.tv. For Chris Garrad, Linda Manning, Jeff Kastner, Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick with us.